The morning sun rose over New Jeju like it had for the past 15 years. Dr. Park Min-ji stood at her lab window, watching the purple grass wave in the gentle breeze. She smiled as she saw children playing near the farming fields. Their laughter filled the air with joy. Another beautiful day, she said to herself. Mingi had lived on New Jeju since she was 25, now 40 years old. She was the colony's head scientist. Her job was to study the planet's plants and animals. She loved her work. The planet had so many amazing creatures that Earth had never seen. Dr. Park called her assistant, Kim Soo-jin. The morning samples are ready. Mingi walked to her desk. Today she was studying a new flower. It was bright blue and seemed to glow. In the dark, she believed it could help make new medicines. This flower might save lives across the galaxy. Outside, Commander Lee Guan was doing his daily patrol. He walked through the streets of their small town. New Jeju had only 5,000 people. Everyone knew each other. It was like a big family. Morning, Commander called out Baker Han Myung. He was making fresh bread for the day. Good morning, Han. How's business? Guan asked. Great. The new wheat grows so well here. My wife says I make the best bread in the galaxy. Guan laughed. He loved these simple moments. Life on New Jeju was peaceful. They had no crime, no wars, no problems. Just good people living quiet lives at the power station. Engineer Kim Hyun was checking the machines. These machines cleaned the air and made it safe for humans to breathe. Without them, people could not live on New Jeju. All systems working perfectly, he told his team. The terraforming is complete. This planet is now as safe as Earth. Hyunwoo was proud of his work. He had spent 10 years making this planet perfect for human life. The air was clean, the water was pure, and the soil grew amazing crops high above the planet. Admiral Song Taeyeon watched the stars from his space station. He commanded the orbital defense platform. It was small but strong enough to protect New Jeju from space rocks and small dangers. Another quiet day, he told his crew. No ships coming or going, just the way we like it. The people of New Jeju did not know that other aliens lived in the galaxy. Earth had met a few peaceful species, but they kept this secret from the colonies. They wanted people to live without fear. But today, that would change at noon. Something appeared on Admiral Song's screens. Big ships were coming toward New Jeju. They were not human ships. Sir called his communications officer, Lieutenant Park Sun-ho. We have unknown vessels approaching. How many? Admiral Song asked. 12 ships, sir. They're huge. The ships were black and covered in sharp metal points. They looked like giant insects made of steel. These were Vorthok ships, but the humans did not know this name yet. Try to contact them, Admiral Song ordered. Lieutenant Park sent messages in every language Earth knew. Unknown ships. This is New Jeju Defense Station. Please identify yourselves. No answer came. Sir, they're not responding to any of our signals, Lieutenant Park reported. Admiral Song felt worried. These ships did not look friendly. Send a message to the colony. Tell them we have visitors. Down on the planet, Commander Lee Guan got the message. He immediately went to Dr. Park Mingi's lab. Mingi, we have unknown ships in orbit. We might need to evacuate, he said. Evacuate? But why? Mingi asked. Maybe they're just explorers like us. I hope so, but we need to be ready. Admiral Song tried again to contact the alien ships. This is Admiral Song Taeyeon of the New Jeju Defense Station. We are peaceful humans. What do you want? This time a voice answered. It was deep and harsh, like grinding metal. Humans, the voice said. We are the You will surrender this world. Surrender. We live here peacefully. We've done nothing wrong, Admiral Song replied. You exist. That is wrong. Humans are weak. You will serve us or die. Admiral Song's heart sank. These aliens were not friendly. They wanted to take New Jeju by force. We will not surrender, he said. Leave our world alone. The alien voice laughed. It was a terrible sound. Foolish creatures, you have no choice. The Vorthok ships moved closer. Admiral Song could see them clearly now. They were 10 times bigger than his small station. Their weapons were already charging. All stations, prepare for battle, Admiral Song commanded. But he knew it was hopeless. His small station had only basic weapons. The Vorthok ships looked like they could destroy entire planets. On New Jeju, alarms began ringing. Commander Lee Guan ran through the streets. Everyone to the emergency shelters, he shouted. This is not a drill. Dr. Park Mingi was in her lab, trying to save her research. He copied all her files onto data storage devices. Her work was too important to lose. Minji, we have to go now, Kim Soo-jin called. Just 1 more minute. I need to save the medical data. Engineer Kim Hyunwoo was at the power station. He was trying to boost the defense shields around the colony. But the shields were not made for war. They were only meant to stop bad weather. Come on, work, he said, hitting the control panel. The shields flickered but stayed weak down in space. The battle was already over before it began. The Vorthok ships fired their weapons. Bright red beams cut through Admiral Song's station like a hot knife through butter. Shields down. Hull breach on all decks. Lieutenant Park shouted. Send the evacuation signal. Admiral Song ordered. Tell the colony to run, but it was too late. The Vorthok ships turned their weapons toward the planet. They fired massive energy beams at the colony. The first beam hit the power station. Engineer Kim Hyun-woo saw it coming through the window. He closed his eyes and thought of his wife and children on Earth. The explosion was tremendous. It lit up the sky like a second sun. Dr. Park Min-ji was still in her lab when the second beam hit nearby. The building shook violently. Equipment fell from shelves. The lights went out. Mingi Kim Soo-jin screamed. "I'm here," Min-ji called back. She grabbed her data storage devices and ran toward the emergency shelter. Outside, the Vorthok ships kept firing. They were not trying to capture the colony. They were trying to destroy it completely. Commander Lee Ji-won was helping people get to the shelters when he saw the third beam coming. It was heading straight for the school where 30 children were hiding. "No," he shouted. He ran toward the school, but he was too far away. Dr. Park Min-gi saw the beam too. She was closer to the school. Without thinking, she ran toward the children. "Get down," she screamed as she burst through the school door. She grabbed as many children as she could and pushed them under the strong metal desks. The beam hit the building a second later. The explosion threw Min-ji against the wall. She felt sharp pain in her chest. Blood was on her hands, but she was still alive. "Are you okay?" she asked the children. "Yes, Dr. Park," they answered. Most of them were scared but not hurt. "Good. Stay here. Help is coming." But Min-ji knew help was not coming. The colony was being destroyed. They were all going to die. She pulled out her emergency communicator. With shaking hands, she started recording a message. "This is Dr. Park Min-gi of New Jeju Colony," she said. "We are under attack by aliens who call themselves Vorthok. They have big black ships with red weapons. They did not want to talk. They just wanted to kill us." She coughed. Blood came out of her mouth. "The Vorthok think humans are weak. They think we will be easy to control. They are wrong. We are not weak. We are strong when we need to be. Tell Earth ... tell them to be ready. These aliens will come for Earth too." The building shook again. More Vorthok beams were hitting the colony. "I'm sending all my research data with this message. The medical breakthrough, it could save millions of lives. Don't let my work die with me." She looked at the children hiding under the desks. They were so young, so innocent. "Tell Earth that we lived well here. We were happy. We built something beautiful, and tell them that Dr. Park Min-ji died protecting children. That's how I want to be remembered." She sent the message and put down the communicator. Then she went to comfort the children. "Don't be scared," she said softly. "Everything will be okay." But everything was not okay. The Vorthok ships kept firing until nothing was left of New Jeju Colony. The beautiful buildings were gone. The purple grass was burned. The amazing creatures were dead. When the attack ended, only silence remained. Commander Lee Ji-won survived. He had been thrown clear when his building collapsed. Engineer Kim Hyun-woo also lived. He had been in the deep basement when the power station exploded. They found each other in the ruins. Both were hurt but alive. "We have to get to the emergency," Ship Ji-won said. They limped through the destroyed colony. Everything they had built was gone. Everyone they loved was dead. The small emergency ship was damaged but still worked. They climbed inside and flew away from New Jeju. In space. The Vorthok ships were leaving. Their commander was satisfied. Another primitive world had been cleared for Vorthok use. "Report the completion of pest control," he told his crew. "The planet is ready for mining operations." The Vorthok did not know that 2 humans had escaped. They did not know about Dr. Park Min-gi's message. They thought humans were weak and would never fight back. They were very wrong. As the emergency ship flew toward Earth, carrying the terrible news, Dr. Park Min-gi's message traveled through space. Soon, all of humanity would know what happened to New Jeju. They would know that peaceful humans had been murdered for no reason. They would know that aliens thought humans were weak and worthless. Commander Lee Gwon's emergency ship arrived at Earth 3 weeks after the attack. His hands shook as he sent the landing request. Soon everyone would know the terrible truth about New Jeju. "Emergency ship requesting immediate landing," he said into his radio. "This is Commander Lee Gwon from New Jeju Colony. I have urgent news for Earth Command." The reply came quickly. "Commander Lee, you're cleared for landing. Medical teams are waiting." Ji-won and Engineer Kim Hyun-woo were taken to the hospital first. Their bodies were hurt, but their hearts were broken. They had watched their home die. They had seen their friends killed. President Choi Soo-yang came to visit them personally. She was a strong woman who had led Earth for 5 years. Her face was serious as she sat down beside Ji-won's bed. "Tell me what happened," she said gently. Ji-won told her everything. He spoke about the black ships. He described the Vorthok voices. He explained how they destroyed the colony without warning. "They said humans were weak," Ji-won said. "They called us pests that needed to be removed." President Choi listened to every word. Her face grew darker with each detail. "And Dr. Park Min-gi?" she asked. "She died saving children." Ji-won replied. "She sent a message to Earth before she died. Did you receive it?" President Choi nodded. "We received everything. Her research, her final words, and the data about these Vorthok aliens." The next day, President Choi spoke to all of Earth. Billions of people watched her on their screens. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were full of fire. My fellow humans, she began. Yesterday, we learned that we are not alone in the galaxy. We also learned that some aliens want to destroy us. She told the world about New Jeju. She played Dr. Park Minji's final message. She showed pictures of the destroyed colony. The Vorthok think we are weak. They think we will hide and do nothing. They are wrong. People across Earth were shocked. Many cried. Others became angry. All of them wanted to know what Earth would do next. For 50 years, we have been preparing for this day, President Choi continued. We hoped it would never come. We wanted to explore space in peace. But now we must protect ourselves and others from these monsters. She pressed a button on her desk. Across Earth, hidden doors opened. Secret military bases revealed themselves. Huge factories started, building weapons and ships. We are not the helpless creatures the Vorthok think we are. We are humans and we protect our own. Fleet Admiral Yoon Dae-ho was called to Earth Command that same day. He was a tall man with gray hair and serious eyes. He had been planning for alien attacks for 20 years. Admiral President Choi said, "It's time to activate the Terror Defense Plan." "Yes, Madam President. How many ships do you want?" "All of them." Admiral Yoon smiled for the first time in weeks. "It will be my pleasure." The Terror Defense Plan was Earth's biggest secret. While colonies like New Jeju lived peaceful lives, Earth had been building a massive military force. They had weapons that could destroy planets. They had ships faster than anything the galaxy had ever seen. General Nam Seojin commanded the ground forces. She was a small woman but very tough. She had trained soldiers for every possible alien attack. "Our people are ready," she told Admiral Yoon. "We have been training for this day since we first left Earth." Dr. Kong Min-seo was Dr. Park Minji's best friend from university. When she heard about Minji's death, she cried for 3 days. Then she got angry. "Give me everything from Minji's message," she told the research team. Every piece of data about Vorthok technology. Dr. Kong studied the alien weapons. She learned how their ships worked. She found their weaknesses. Their shields are strong, but they use old technology. She explained to the military leaders, "I can make weapons that will cut through them like paper." "How long do you need?" Admiral Yoon asked. 2 months for the first prototypes. 6 months for full production. You have whatever you need. Money, people, equipment. Nothing is too expensive. Captain Han Jinwoo was a former colony ship pilot. When he heard about New Jeju, he volunteered to fight immediately. "I want to join the military," he told the recruitment officer. "You're 45 years old," the officer said. "That's too old for basic training." "I don't care. Those aliens killed innocent people. I want revenge." The officer looked at Han's flying record. He was one of the best pilots Earth had ever produced. "Report to military training tomorrow morning. We're making you a captain." Thousands of people like Captain Han volunteered to fight. Earth's army grew from 50,000 soldiers to 5 million in just 2 months. They called themselves the Human Liberation Corps. Their job was not just to protect Earth, they wanted to free everyone the Vorthok had enslaved. Park Ji-hoon was Dr. Park Minji's younger brother. He was a peaceful man who taught children at a school on Earth. When he learned his sister was dead, something inside him changed. "I want to join the military," he told his wife. "But you hate violence," she said. "I hate what happened to Ming more." Park Ji-hoon became Commander Park Ji-hoon in 3 months. He was put in charge of special attack teams. His job was to capture alien ships and learn their secrets. The first human warships were ready 6 months after New Jeju's destruction. They were beautiful and terrible. Each ship was named after someone who died on New Jeju. The biggest ship was called the Minji's Revenge. Admiral Yoon would command the fleet from this ship. Dr. Park Minji died to protect children, he told his crew. "We will make sure her death was not meaningless. We will protect all the children in the galaxy." Other alien species had been watching Earth quietly. They were part of something called the Galactic Confederation. These aliens were peaceful but afraid of the Vorthok. Ambassador Veltar was from a planet called Keltora. His people looked like tall, thin humans with blue skin. They had been hiding from the Vorthok for 50 years. "The humans are preparing for war," he reported to his government. "Their military is much larger than we expected." "Are they dangerous to us?" his leader asked. "I don't think so. They seem to only want to fight the Vorthok, but their weapons are very advanced. We should be careful." The Vorthok did not know any of this was happening. They thought humans were extinct. They had started mining operations on New Jeju, digging up the planet's valuable metals. War leader Jextal commanded the Vorthok forces in that part of the galaxy. He was proud of how quickly they had removed the human pest problem. "The mining is going well," he reported to his superiors. "The human planet had good resources. We should look for more human worlds to clear." "Are you sure all the humans are dead?" asked Supreme Overlord Cressmath. "Of course, we destroyed everything. Humans are too weak to fight back anyway." How wrong he was on Earth. The final preparations were complete. 100 warships were ready. 2 million soldiers had finished training. Dr. Kong's new weapons were loaded onto every ship. President Choi spoke to the fleet before they left Earth. "You carry with you the hopes of all humanity," she said. "You also carry our anger. The Vorth, I think we are weak," Show them how wrong they are. Admiral Yoon stood on the bridge of Minji's Revenge. Behind him were 99 other ships full of angry humans. All ships. This is Admiral Yoon, he said into his radio. Today we begin Operation Minji's Vengeance. Today we teach the galaxy that humans protect their own. The fleet left Earth's solar system and jumped into hyperspace. They were heading for Vorthok territory. The Vorthok had killed 5,000 innocent people on New Jeju. They thought this made them strong. They were about to learn that it made them targets. Dr. Park Minji had died to save 30 children. Now 2 million humans were coming to save the entire galaxy. The sleeping dragon had awakened, and it was very, very angry. Admiral Yoon's fleet arrived at the Kelthra system 3 days later. This was Vorthok border territory. They had 6 mining planets here and a big military base. All ships, battle stations, Admiral Yoon commanded. Remember, we're here to send a message. The Vorthok had 12 ships guarding the system. They were big and scary looking, but Admiral Yoon was not worried. Earth's ships were smaller but much smarter. War leader Jextel was drinking alien wine in his command center when the alarms started ringing. Sir, unknown ships entering the system. His officer reported. How many? Jextel asked. He was not worried. Most species only had a few ships. 100 ships, sir. They're not in our database. Jextel spilled his wine. 100 ships. That was a major fleet. Show me, he ordered. On his screen, he saw the human ships. They were sleek and white, very different from the rough black Vorthok vessels. Try to contact them, Jextel said. The reply came immediately. It was Admiral Yoon's voice, speaking perfect Vorthok language. Attention Vorthok forces. This is Admiral Yoon of the Human Liberation Fleet. You murdered our people on New Jeju. Now you will pay. Jextel's eyes went wide. Humans, but humans were extinct. He had destroyed them all. Impossible, he said. We killed all the humans. You killed 5,000 humans, Admiral Yoon replied. Earth has 8 billion more, and we are all very angry. Captain Han Jinwoo was commanding a group of fast attack ships. His job was to hit the Vorthok supply base first. Tiger Squadron, follow me, he said to his pilots. Let's show these aliens how humans fight. His 12 ships moved like dancing birds, spinning and diving around the slower Vorthok vessels. The aliens tried to shoot them but kept missing. Their weapons are too slow, Captain Han reported. Dr. Kong was right. Vorthok technology is outdated. He fired his new quantum torpedoes at a Vorthok supply ship. The torpedoes went right through the alien shields like they were not there. The ship exploded in a bright flash. Direct hit. Their shields can't stop our weapons. Commander Park Ji-hoon was leading the boarding teams. His job was to capture alien ships without destroying them. Earth wanted to study Vorthok technology. Boarding Team 1. Prepare for assault, he ordered. His transport ship flew close to a damaged Vorthok cruiser. The aliens were shooting at them, but human shields were much stronger than expected. Cutting through their hull now, reported Sergeant Lee Min-ho. Park Ji-hoon and his 20 soldiers entered the alien ship. The Vorthok inside were tall and looked like giant insects. They had 4 arms and scary faces. But humans had studied the data from New Jeju. They knew exactly where to shoot to stop a Vorthok quickly. Stun them, don't kill them, Park Ji-hoon ordered. We need prisoners. The fight lasted only 10 minutes. The Vorthok were strong but slow. Humans were faster and smarter. Ship secured, Park Ji-hoon reported. We have 15 prisoners and all their computer data. Dr. Kong Min-seo was on the command ship watching the battle through cameras. She saw her weapons working perfectly. The quantum disruptors are exceeding expectations, she told Admiral Yoon. Vorthok shields provide 0 protection. How is that possible? The Admiral asked. Their shields work by stopping normal energy weapons. But quantum disruptors don't use normal energy. They attack the shields themselves, making them collapse. On the Vorthok command ship, leader Jextel was panicking. Half his fleet was already destroyed or captured. How are they doing this? He screamed at his officers. Human weapons are supposed to be primitive. Sir, our shields are completely useless against their torpedoes, his weapons officer reported, and their ships are much faster than ours. Call for reinforcements. Tell the High Command that the humans have returned. But it was too late for reinforcements. Captain Lee Youngmi was leading a strike on the Vorthok mining planets. Look at this, she said to her crew as they flew over the first planet. They've strip-mined the entire surface. Nothing is left alive. The planet had once been beautiful, with blue oceans and green forests. Now it was just gray dirt and deep holes. Sir, we're detecting life signs in the mining caves, her sensor officer reported. Thousands of them. Life signs. What species? Multiple species, sir. They appear to be slaves. Captain Lee felt sick. That Vorthok were using captured aliens as slave workers in their mines. Change of plans, she announced. We're going to free those slaves. Her marines landed near the biggest mining complex. The Vorthok guards tried to fight, but human soldiers were much better trained. Major Kim Dong-yoon led the assault on the slave pens. What he found there made him angry beyond words. Command, we have over 3,000 slaves here, he reported. They're from at least 6 different species. The conditions are horrible. The slaves were thin and sick. They had been forced to work in the dangerous mines with no protection. Many were injured, some were dying. Get our medical teams down here, immediately, Captain Lee ordered. Dr. O'Hygen was the fleet's chief medical officer. She had studied Dr. Park Mingy's research and knew how to treat many alien species. Set up emergency hospitals in the mining facility, she told her medical teams. We're going to save everyone we can. The rescued slaves could not believe what was happening. For years they had prayed for someone to save them. Now humans had come from nowhere to set them free. Who are you? Asked an alien who looked like a walking tree. His name was Veltar and he was from the planet Kelthura. We're humans. Dr. O replied as she treated his injuries. We're here to free everyone the Vorthok have enslaved. But why? We are not your people. Dr. O looked at him with kind eyes. A human named Dr. Park Mingy once said that all children deserve protection. That means all people deserve freedom. You are people, therefore, you deserve to be free. Back in space, the battle was almost over. Admiral Yoon's fleet had destroyed or captured all 12 Vorthok ships. Not a single human ship had been lost. War leader Jextel was now a prisoner on the human flagship. He sat in chains before Admiral Yoon, still unable to believe what had happened. This is impossible, he said. Our intelligence reports said humans were weak. You had no military. You were peaceful explorers. Admiral Yoon smiled coldly. We were peaceful then. You killed our people. But your weapons, your tactics, how did you develop such advanced technology so quickly? We didn't develop it quickly. We've been preparing for this day for 50 years. We hoped we would never need these weapons. We wanted to explore the galaxy in peace. The Admiral leaned forward. But we knew there might be bullies out there. So we prepared. We built weapons that could defeat any enemy. We trained soldiers who could fight any war, and we waited. You hoped for peace but prepared for war, Jextel said quietly. Exactly. And when you murdered Dr. Park Mingy and our colonists, you made war inevitable. Admiral Yoon stood up. You're going to send a message to your leaders. Tell them that humans are not extinct. Tell them we're coming for every Vorthok world. Tell them we're going to free every slave and destroy every mining operation. They will send the entire hegemony fleet against you, Jextel warned. Good, that will save us the trouble of hunting them down one by one. The message was sent to Vorthok High Command an hour later. Supreme Overlord Kresmith could not believe the words he was hearing. The humans have a fleet of 100 ships. That's impossible. It gets worse, my lord, his intelligence officer reported. They completely destroyed war leader Jextel's forces. Our weapons were useless against their shields. Their weapons went through our shields like they didn't exist. And they freed the mining slaves. Yes, my lord. They're treating the slaves like honored guests. They've set up hospitals and are giving them food and medicine. Supreme Overlord Kresmith sat in his throne, thinking hard. The Vorthok had built their empire by attacking weak species. They had never fought an enemy with better weapons. Send orders to all sector commanders, he finally said. All Vorthok fleets are to avoid human ships until further notice. Are we retreating, my lord? We are being careful. This changes everything. Meanwhile, news of the battle was spreading across the galaxy. The Galactic Confederation Emergency Council met to discuss the situation. The humans have military capabilities far beyond our estimates, reported Ambassador Veltar. He had been rescued from the mines and was now speaking for his people. Are they a threat to us? Asked the council leader. Not at all. They treated rescued slaves better than we treat our own citizens. They only attacked Vorthok military targets. They're not conquerors. Then what are they? Veltar thought about Dr. O'Hygen's gentle hands treating his wounds. He remembered the human soldiers sharing their food with starving slaves. They are liberators, he said simply. They have come to free the galaxy from the Vorthok. On the human flagship, Admiral Yoon was planning the next attack. The rescued slaves had provided valuable information about other Vorthok systems. There are 47 mining worlds in Vorthok space, Commander Park Ji-hoon reported. Each one has thousands of slaves. Then we have 46 more worlds to liberate, Admiral Yoon said. Captain Han Jinwoo looked at the star charts. Sir, that's going to require a much larger fleet. Admiral Yoon smiled. Don't worry, Captain. Earth is sending reinforcements. A lot of reinforcements. Dr. Kongmin Seo was already working on new weapons based on captured Vorthok technology. 6 months after the Battle of Kelthura, the galaxy had changed completely. News of human victories spread from system to system. The Vorthok Empire was losing worlds every week. Admiral Yoon now commanded 300 ships. Earth had been building new vessels as fast as possible. Each ship was better than the last, designed with lessons learned from every battle. Status report. Admiral Yoon requested from his command center aboard Mingy's Revenge. 43 mining worlds liberated, reported Commander Park Ji-hoon. Over 50,000 slaves freed. Vorthok military losses 60% of their fleet. Captain Lee Young-mi had become famous across the galaxy. Her rescue operations had saved more lives than anyone could count. Freed slaves called her the Angel of Liberation. Sir, we have a message from the Galactic Confederation, Communications Officer Han Sujin announced. The message appeared on the main screen. It was from Ambassador Velta, the same alien they had rescued from the mines months ago. Admiral Yoon, the Confederation Council requests a meeting with human representatives. We believe it's time for formal contact between our governments. Admiral Yoon smiled. The galaxy was finally ready to accept humanity as equals. 2 weeks later, President Choi Soo-yang arrived at Confederation headquarters in a massive human ship. The alien delegates were amazed by its size and beauty. "Welcome to the Galactic Confederation," Ambassador Velta said as he greeted her. "Though I think we should be welcoming you as saviors, not just neighbors." President Choi looked around the great meeting hall. Representatives from 40 different species sat in rows, all watching her carefully. "Honorable delegates," she began. 6 months ago, humans discovered we were not alone in the galaxy. We learned this when aliens called the Vorthok murdered 5,000 of our people without warning. The room was completely silent. Everyone knew the story of New Jeju. The Vorthok thought humans were weak. They thought we would hide and do nothing. They were wrong. She pressed a button, and images appeared showing human fleets liberating slave worlds. We could have simply defended ourselves. We could have built walls around human space and ignored the rest of the galaxy. But Dr. Park Min-gi died protecting children who were not even her own. She taught us that all innocent life is worth protecting. An alien who looked like a giant bird raised his hand. "What do humans want from the Confederation?" "Nothing for ourselves," President Choi replied. "We want cooperation to end slavery throughout the galaxy. We want justice for all the species the Vorthok have oppressed." "And after the Vorthok are defeated?" asked another delegate. "We want to explore the galaxy in peace. We want to share our knowledge with other species. We want to build a better future for everyone." Ambassador Velta stood up. "I was a slave in Vorthok mines for 3 years. Human soldiers risked their lives to save me. Human doctors healed my wounds. They asked for nothing in return." He looked around the room. "I have seen human kindness with my own eyes. I support full alliance with Earth." One by one, other delegates voted to support humanity. Within an hour, Earth was officially a member of the Galactic Confederation. But the celebrations were interrupted by urgent news from the front lines. "Madam President," Admiral Yoon's voice came through the communicator. "The Vorthok are massing their entire remaining fleet. Intelligence reports they're planning a final attack." Where President Choi asked, "Earth, ma'am, they want to destroy our home world." Supreme Overlord Kresmoth was desperate. His empire was falling apart. Slave worlds were rebelling. His own generals were starting to question his leadership. "The humans must be stopped," he told his war council. "If we destroy their home world, the rest will surrender." "Sir, our intelligence says Earth has massive defense systems," war leader Zethkar reported. "It won't be easy. I don't care how hard it is. Gather every ship we have left. We're going to burn their planet to ash." Dr. Kong Min Seo was working in her laboratory on Earth when the attack warning came. She had been developing new weapons based on captured Vorthok technology. "How long until they arrive?" she asked General Nam Seoj. 72 hours, that's enough time. I can finish the planetary defense grid." For months, Dr. Kong had been building weapons platforms around Earth. Each platform had weapons powerful enough to destroy a moon. But she had kept this secret from everyone except the highest military leaders. Captain Han Jinwoo was commanding the orbital defense stations. His job was to coordinate with the planetary defense grid when the Vorthok arrived. "All stations report ready," he announced. "Earth Defense Command is operational." Admiral Yoon's fleet was racing back to Earth as fast as possible, but they were still 2 days away when the Vorthok fleet arrived. 500 black ships appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. It was the largest military force the galaxy had seen in 1,000 years. "This is Supreme Overlord Kresmoth," came the transmission to Earth. "Surrender now, and we will kill you quickly. Resist, and we will make your deaths slow and painful." President Choi's reply was broadcast across the galaxy. Every species could hear her words. "This is President Choi Soo-yang of Earth. You came to our home to murder our families. You think this makes you strong. You are about to learn how wrong you are." The Vorthok fleet began its attack. 500 ships fired their weapons at Earth's defense stations. But Earth was not the helpless colony world of New Jeju. The first surprise was Earth's shields. They were not ordinary energy barriers. Dr. Kong had designed them using principles from Dr. Park Min-gi's research. They absorbed energy attacks and converted them into power for Earth's weapons. "Impossible," Supreme Overlord Kresmoth screamed as he watched his weapons make Earth's shields stronger instead of weaker. The second surprise was the defense platforms. There were not dozens of them as Vorthok intelligence had reported. There were thousands. Captain Han Jinwoo gave the order that changed galactic history. All platforms, open fire. Beams of pure energy erupted from platforms hidden throughout the solar system. These were not ordinary weapons. They were based on the same quantum technology that had made Vorthok shields useless. The effect was devastating. Vorthok ships began exploding faster than their crews could react. "Retreat! Retreat!" Supreme Overlord Kresmoth ordered, but it was too late. Earth's defense grid had been designed to prevent exactly this kind of escape. Dr. Kong's most secret weapon activated. Gravity mines appeared throughout the solar system, trapping the Vorthok fleet in Earth's space. You wanted to fight us at our home. President Choi's voice came over the radio. Now you get to die at our home. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was over, the entire Vorthok invasion fleet was destroyed. Not a single ship escaped. Supreme Overlord Kresmath died when his flagship exploded. His last words were, "How did they become so strong?" The answer was simple. Humans had been preparing for this day for 50 years, and Dr. Park Minji's sacrifice had given them the motivation to use every weapon they had built. News of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy faster than light. The mighty Vorthok Empire had sent their entire fleet against one human world. None had returned. Commander Park Ji-hoon was leading mop-up operations in former Vorthok territory when he got the news. "The home fleet is gone?" he asked in disbelief. "Completely destroyed," Admiral Yoon confirmed. "Earth's defenses were stronger than even we expected." Captain Lee Young-mi was freeing the last Vorthok slave world when she heard the news. The slaves cheered so loudly it could be heard from orbit. "Is it over?" asked Veltar, who had chosen to fight alongside the humans. "Almost," Captain Lee replied. "There are still scattered Vorthok forces out there, but their empire is finished." Dr. O'Hygen had set up medical stations on liberated worlds throughout the galaxy. She was treating former slaves when the celebration began. "What's happening?" asked a young alien who looked like a small dragon. "The bad aliens are gone," Dr. O explained gently. "You're free forever now." The child smiled for the first time in years. On Earth, President Choi addressed the planet and the galaxy. 6 months ago, the Vorthok thought they could destroy humanity by killing 5,000 innocent people. Today, their empire is no more. She paused, looking directly into the camera. Dr. Park Minji died protecting children on New Jeju today. Children across 47 worlds sleep safely because of her sacrifice. This is how humans honor our dead, by protecting the innocent. The Galactic Confederation called an emergency session. Ambassador Veltar spoke for all the member species. The Vorthok Empire enslaved millions of beings for over a century. No species was strong enough to stop them. Then humans arrived, and in 6 months, the galaxy was free. He looked at the human delegation. Humanity has proven that they are not conquerors seeking territory. They are protectors seeking justice. The Confederation officially recognizes Earth as the protector of galactic peace. But the war was not completely over. Scattered Vorthok forces still controlled a few worlds. Some had declared themselves independent warlords. Others were trying to rebuild the empire. Admiral Yoon called together his fleet commanders. "The main threat is over, but our job isn't finished. There are still slaves to be freed and tyrants for be stopped." "How long will this take?" asked Captain Han Jinwoo. "As long as necessary. We didn't come this far to leave the job half done." 1 year after the Battle of Earth, the last Vorthok stronghold was finally located. It was hidden in a dark nebula at the edge of the galaxy, where sensors could not detect it easily. Admiral Yoon stood on the bridge of Minji's Revenge, looking at the massive fortress world called Vorthok Prime. This was where the Vorthok Empire had begun 1,000 years ago. Final intelligence report, Commander Park Ji-hoon announced. The fortress has 15 million Vorthok civilians and about 2 million military personnel. "Any slaves?" Admiral Yoon asked. "Yes, sir. Intelligence estimates 500,000 slaves from 60 different species. They're being held in the fortress city's lower levels." This was the problem. The humans could easily destroy Prime, but that would kill the slaves too. And humans did not kill innocent people, even to defeat their enemies. "We need a precise operation," Admiral Yoon decided. "We save the slaves first, then deal with the military." Captain Lee Young-mi had become the galaxy's expert on rescue operations. She had saved more lives than anyone could count. "Sir, I recommend we use the new teleporter technology," she suggested. "We can beam people directly off the planet without fighting through the defenses." Dr. Kong Min Seo had spent months developing teleporter systems based on captured Vorthok technology. The devices could move people instantly across vast distances. "The teleporters are ready," she confirmed from her science ship. "We can evacuate all the slaves in less than 6 hours. But first, they had to get close enough to use the teleporters." Vorthok Prime was protected by the strongest defenses in the galaxy. "Time to test Earth's new flagship," Admiral Yoon said. The Terra's Wrath was humanity's most advanced ship. It was twice the size of any other vessel and carried weapons that could crack planets. But today, it would be used for rescue, not destruction. Captain Han Jinwoo commanded the ship's approach to Vorthok Prime. His job was to get close enough for the teleporters to work. "Fortress defenses are activating," his weapons officer reported. "They have planetary shields and orbital weapon platforms. Begin the demonstration." Admiral Yoon ordered. The Terra's Wrath fired a single quantum torpedo at an empty asteroid near the fortress. The asteroid simply vanished, turned into atomic dust in milliseconds. Then Admiral Yoon sent a message to Vorthok Prime. "This is Admiral Yoon of the Human Liberation Fleet. We are here to collect the slaves you have imprisoned. You have 1 hour to surrender them voluntarily. The reply came from Acting Supreme Leader Vector, who had taken control after Cressmath's death. Humans, you dare come to our sacred homeworld, we will destroy you. You are welcome to try, Admiral Yoon replied calmly. But first, let me show you something. He ordered his fleet to target the orbital weapon platforms around Vorthok Prime. 50 human ships fired simultaneously. All 48 Vorthok platforms were destroyed in seconds. Your orbital defenses are gone, Admiral Yoon announced. Your planetary shield will fall next. I suggest you reconsider your position. Acting Supreme Leader Vector was panicking in his command center deep inside the fortress. He had watched the human fleet destroy his defenses like they were made of paper. How many ships do they have? He demanded. 200, sir, but they're not like our ships. Their weapons are far more advanced. What about our planetary shield? Sir, their previous attacks suggest our shields won't stop them. Vector looked at the tactical display showing human ships surrounding his world. He was trapped. Open communication with the human admiral. He finally ordered. Admiral Yoon. Vector's voice came over the radio. What are your terms? Simple. Release all slaves immediately. Surrender all military personnel for trial. Evacuate all civilians to designated relocation worlds, and if we refuse, Admiral Yoon's voice became ice cold. Then we will take the slaves by force and leave your fortress as a monument to the consequences of oppressing innocent people. Meanwhile, Commander Park Ji-hoon was leading special teams to scout the fortress. Using stealth technology, his soldiers had infiltrated the slave quarters. Sir, the conditions down here are horrible, he reported. These people have been tortured for years. Many are barely alive. Get Dr. Oh down there immediately. Admiral Yoon ordered. Dr. Oh Hyjin and her medical teams teleported directly into the slave quarters. What they found made them sick with anger. The Vorthok had not just used slaves for labor. They had experimented on them. These are not mining slaves, Dr. Oh reported grimly. These are research subjects. The Vorthok have been testing weapons and diseases on them. Admiral Yoon felt rage building in his chest. The Vorthok were not just slavers. They were monsters who tortured innocent people for entertainment. Change of plans, he announced to his fleet. We're not waiting for surrender. Begin immediate slave evacuation. The teleporter operation began instantly. Human soldiers appeared throughout the fortress, stunning Vorthok guards and evacuating slaves. The Vorthok tried to fight back, but human technology was too advanced. Captain Lee Youngmi personally led the evacuation of the children's section. What she found there broke her heart. Hundreds of young aliens had been kept in tiny cages, used for medical experiments. It's okay, she told them gently as her soldiers carried them to safety. You're safe now. The bad people can't hurt you anymore. One small alien child, who looked like a tiny blue human, grabbed her hand. Are you angels? The child asked. Captain Lee had to fight back tears. No, sweetie, we're just humans, and humans protect children. Within 4 hours, all 500,000 slaves had been evacuated. They were taken to hospital ships where Dr. Oh's teams began treating their injuries. Now Admiral Yoon faced a decision. The fortress still contained 17 million Vorthok. Many were civilians who had never hurt anyone, but their leaders had committed terrible crimes. Sir, Acting Supreme Leader Vector is requesting another communication, reported communications. Officer Han Sujin put him through. Vector's voice was desperate. Admiral, you have taken our slaves. What more do you want? Justice, Admiral Yoon replied. The leaders who ordered the torture and experimentation will face trial. Military personnel will be imprisoned until we can determine their individual guilt. Civilians will be relocated to supervised worlds and our home world. Admiral Yoon looked at the fortress through his ship's viewports. Vorthok Prime was beautiful in its own way, with crystalline spires reaching toward the stars. Your home world will become a memorial to the victims of Vorthok cruelty. Every species you enslaved will send representatives to ensure it's never used for evil again. That is not acceptable, Vector screamed. It's not a negotiation, Admiral Yoon said quietly. It's a statement of fact. The final battle for Vorthok Prime lasted only 2 hours. Human forces used non-lethal weapons to subdue the fortress defenders. They wanted prisoners, not corpses. Commander Park Ji-hoon personally arrested Acting Supreme Leader Vector in his command center. You killed my sister, Park Ji-hoon said as he put handcuffs on the alien leader. Dr. Park Min-ji died protecting children on New Jeju. She was a good person who never hurt anyone. She was just one human, Vector replied sullenly. One human, whose death brought down your entire empire, Park Ji-hoon said. Remember that when you're sitting in your prison cell. The cleanup operation took 6 months. Human forces carefully searched every part of Vorthok space, making sure no secret bases or hidden slave camps remained. Dr. Kong Min-seo led teams that studied Vorthok research facilities. Most of what they found was horrifying, but some technology that could be used to help the former slaves heal from their injuries. We're turning their weapons research into medical treatments, she explained to Admiral Yoon. Their cruelty will become our compassion. The former slaves were given choices about their futures. Many wanted to return to their homeworlds. Others chose to stay with the human fleet as crew members or colonists. Felt the alien who had been rescued from the first mining world became an ambassador between humans and the Galactic Confederation. "Humans saved us all," he said in a speech to the Confederation Council. "But more than that, they showed us how to be better than our oppressors." They could have destroyed the Vorthok completely. Instead, they chose justice over revenge. President Choi Soo-yang visited the memorial built on New Jeju's restored surface. The planet had been completely rebuilt, more beautiful than before. A crystal monument stood where Dr. Park Min-ji's laboratory had been. "She died to protect 30 children," President Choi said to the gathered crowd. "Her sacrifice saved millions of children across 47 worlds." Commander Lee Guan, now a general, spoke at the ceremony. He was one of only 2 survivors from the original New Jeju colony. Mingi always said that science should help people, he remembered. She would be amazed to know that her death helped free an entire galaxy. The Vorthok survivors were relocated to 3 worlds under human supervision. They were not prisoners, but they were not free to leave. Their children would be educated in human schools, learning about justice and compassion. Some Vorthok genuinely changed. They learned to feel guilt for their species' crimes. These reformed Vorthok became valuable allies in hunting down war criminals who had escaped. Others remained bitter and unrepentant. They plotted revenge from their supervised worlds. But human intelligence networks always caught them before they could act. 5. The